Well, thank God we have ladies like you that are here to protect us.
Absolutely.
So let's get a little bit into relationships. How long do you need to be dating someone to be considered a common law partner? And what's best for your client, obviously, depending on which one's your client.
What's best for my client?
So, ladies, what have you noticed has been the biggest financial mistake that women have made in marriages or long-term partnerships?
Shame. So when they come back and report to him, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Like, I'm sorry, that's how it is in South Africa. This is not Suits where you're just gonna win every case.
Also, it's not dramatic like in Suits.
No, it's not dramatic.
There's no standing up and say,
Objection!
Today's conversation is powerful, necessary, and honestly overdue. We're joined by two ladies who understand deeply how the law impacts women in real life, in relationships, in marriages, in workplaces, and in moments of crisis. We will be focusing on South African law in this episode, which has one of the most progressive constitutions in the world, yet we continue to face some of the highest rates of gender-based violence and inequality. So today we're unpacking what women's rights actually look like in practice, what protections we really have, and where the system fails us and what every woman should know before it's too late. This isn't just a legal conversation. It's about power, protection, and knowing your worth. So please welcome Dineo and Elma. Thank you so much for being here with me on The Exclusive.
Thank you, Eden.
thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. So Dineo, this is my second time meeting you, but Alma my first.
Yes.
We met at an incredible event called the Big Sister Society, which was such a lovely day. And you basically spoke about the journey from being single to being in a long-term relationship, then being married. And I just loved the way that you basically broke down the story. But before we get into that, let's just start about like, how did the legal journey begin for you?
I like it when people ask me those questions, actually. So initially, I wanted to be a doctor, right?
Okay.
I wanted to be a doctor because I wanted to help people. And if I'm on an airplane, they ask, so do we have a doctor in the house? I say, yes.
Like, I want to be that woman.
Yeah, doctor. But my maths was terrible. Mathematics was terrible. I couldn't pursue that dream. And then when I was young, my mother went through a divorce.
Okay.
And at the time, she didn't have finances. So she had to go through legal aid. And it was a tedious process. It caused so much stress to her. It was awful. It was an awful experience. So I thought to myself, why don't I help people in that way? Why don't I help these women who do not have access to legal assistance, empower them? And that could be a way of me of helping people to help people. So then I decided, let me be an attorney. Let me be there for women who cannot afford legal services. Let me empower women, you know. So then I took on the journey, studied my LLB and did my, articles. And I am here now. And it's one journey I do not regret. It's fulfilling. I love it. I get to be the voice of women who are voiceless.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
absolutely amazing. And what about you, Alma?
So with me, it's a bit of a different story. I've always wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
So if you ask my mom, it was what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a lawyer.
Okay.
But things turned a bit, you know, when you finish school and you're thinking, what do I do now? There's no money for university. I started working. as a secretary at one of the big 5 law firms for many years. Then I decided, you know what, let me see if I can get funding for my law degree. I got funding. I studied during my secretarial years, got my degree, did my articles at a Afrikaans firm in Pretoria. Yeah, I survived. I managed. Did my articles. Then I met Dineo the next year. We started our own practice. And I became that lawyer that I wanted to be.
Wow, that's an incredible story and journey, ladies. So let's start unpacking some of the things that a lot of the women listeners in particular would love to know. Are South African women more legally protected on paper than they are in reality?
Yes, they actually are.
Yeah, the legal framework is there. We've got one of the greatest constitutions in the world. And in our constitution, we've got the Domestic Violence Act. We've got Children's Act, we've got Maintenance Act, we've got a lot of laws that the framework is there. It's just the practicality of having it done that's disturbing the whole system. So the laws are there. Women are not aware of what their rights are.
Yeah.
So we have it, the framework is it's there for everybody. It's just the practicality of having it work in your advantage that's just not, society is not aware of their rights at this point. Yeah.
And I think the processes at the courts,
Yeah.
for example, some women they don't experience that service. I think as a woman going through problems and you go to someone for assistance, if someone would be rude to you and not empathetic, you end up giving up, because you think, okay, it's not working for me, it's working against me. So what happens on the ground, the way the courts assist women, sometimes is discouraging for women. They tend to not even rely on the courts anymore because they fear how they'll be treated once they get to the courts. So that's, it's applying it. That's a problem.
The system it's cracked. There's a crack somewhere in the system. The laws are there. The practicality is not there. The court roll, if you look at the court roll, just to get a court date, to get a maintenance order would take you up to 6 months. And what happens to you and a child during that time? So the processes to implement the law is just not practical.
Well, thank God we have ladies like you that are here to protect us.
Absolutely.
So let's get a little bit into relationships. How long do you need to be dating someone to be considered a common law partner?
It's a misconception that in South Africa we have such a thing as common law marriages or common law partner. In South Africa, we do not have that. This is not the United States of America, unfortunately. So in South Africa, you are not protected as a partner. You cannot apply the laws that apply to a marriage to your partnership or dating experience, unfortunately.
Yeah. Cohabiting does not have any law that protects you in South Africa. So women have the misconception that if I cohabit with my partner for as long as 10 years, I can have a legal right to any asset that doesn't exist in our law. Either you're married or you're not. That's where the protection comes in. We have the Marriage Act, with the customary marriage acts. Muslims as well get protected with their marriages. So women need to understand the law better and protect themselves better. So we're not saying do not cohabit. We're saying know yourself better, know the law better. You can use other systems. There are other systems in place you can use to cohabit with your partner. Systems like getting a cohabitation agreement notarized by a notary like myself. You can get that in place that can protect you when it comes to legal consequences such as death or separation.
It's actually an interesting case that I read on. I think it's the famous case regarding living together as partners. Robertson versus Folks, I think. So they've been living together for so long. I think over 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. They've been living together for so long, and unfortunately, the man passed away. The woman was there building a home with this man, assisting him with his career, to which he advanced in his career. Then he passes away, and now she doesn't have anything. She has no claim towards his estate. She tried claiming for spousal maintenance. Yeah. And then the Constitutional Court was like, unfortunately, you guys were not married. You had an opportunity to get married. You did not get married. You can't be protected by the laws of marriage because you're in a partnership, despite how long you've been in a partnership for. So unfortunately, women don't know about that. You live with your partner for so long, you grow together, and if something happens, you think, oh no, I'll have a claim, but you're not protected. Like Alma said, there's such things as cohabitation agreements that you can enter into, protect yourself, know the law, don't plead ignorance. I mean, now there's Google, there's attorneys like us that can assist you.
Just come see you.
Just come to G&T.
Knock and the door shall be open.
Knock and then we'll give you gin and tonic to calm down. Just get this information. Know your rights. Protect yourself. Empower yourself.
Another thing that you spoke about was the journey, which I'm super excited to get into, from, like I say, single to partner to married to all these things. And we have a misconception in South Africa where we also call it a prenup, where it's an actually anti-nuptial contract.
Exactly.
And you spoke about the fact that there's a red and there's an orange and there's a green one.
Yes.
Can you take us through that?
So essentially, when I was giving the talk, I tried to make it easier for people to understand. Because when you see a red light, what do you think? Danger. Stop. Danger. Don't do it. So when I was explaining the different marriage regimes in South Africa, I said there's in community of property, but it's red.
Yes.
Then you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's danger. So it's something we do not advise our clients to get into. Marriage and community of property means everything is divided in half. You have one joint estate, and if something happens, God forbid, everything is in half, including your debts.
Why do you think European countries are so adamant on that type of law? Sorry to interject.
Sorry.
It's a big deal there.
Well, probably internationally, they're not as, like I said, we've got a better constitution.
Yeah.
They don't recognize how some partners bring more debt into a marriage than others. It's not only about wealth. So if you marry someone who's fully in debt, if he passes away, it's your debt. It doesn't protect you. So their laws don't protect spouses. We have laws that protect spouses. You have a choice to say, I don't want to carry your debt when you pass. I don't want to pay for children you have out of wedlock when we are in a marriage. That happens. If you're married in communal property in South Africa, you will pay for maintenance for children that are your husband's children that out of wedlock. So we have a stronger constitution compared to internationally. So we have more protection for our spouses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we mustn't think it's just when you divorce or when you pass on. Also, we could be in a relationship. You decide to help a buddy with his business and sign a suretyship. Where if his business goes down or if he's in debt, then they come to you as surety to collect the money. Then it will affect our joint estate. Because I can't say, no, this is my bottle, don't touch my bottle. But because we married in community of property, if the sheriff comes to our house to attach something, they will attach my bottle.
Our bottle.
Because it's ours.
Our bottle.
But I know I bought this bottle.
Yeah.
But they will take that bottle.
Yeah.
So it's red.
Yeah.
It's danger zone in community of property. And then I continued and said, then there's an orange, where it's marriage out of community of property without the accrual. It's not a bad choice. However, I call it the orange because let's say we married, right? And at the talk, I did give an example about it. There was a relationship between a Peter, right? Peter and us. So let's say I'm married to Peter.
Yeah.
And then Peter decides, Dineo, I want you to just stay home and build a home for us. Make this house a home.
Yes.
I decide, okay, I'll be a housewife. I don't want to work anymore anyway. I don't want to sit in traffic. I don't want to deal with my boss. Let me sit at home and make this house a home. Peter goes and works, makes money, builds businesses. He's now a millionaire. You have accrued nothing in this marriage because you've been a housewife. You've been working at home. You've been making sure his suits are pressed, his shoes are shined, his hair is cut, doctor's appointments are set. He's never gotten sick because of the multivitamin you give him. And then he decides, you know what, I don't want you anymore. I want someone else. I want someone younger. So Dineo, goodbye. I'm divorcing you. Now, because there is no accrual, whatever Peter accumulated within this marriage is Peter's. Now, I didn't accumulate anything because I was working at home. I was a housewife. I leave with nothing, despite us being together for more than 10 years. So that's why it's orange, because there's possibilities where we are both working. Peter doesn't want me to be a housewife, so let's both work. I accumulate my wealth, you accumulate your wealth. By the time we divorce, I still have my own, you have your own. So that's where the orange part comes in.
Yeah.
Then there's the green, the one we all love. The green is marriage and community with the accrual. Now this means Peter says, Dineo, sit at home, be a housewife, take care of the children, I'll bring the bread. You say, okay, let's do it, Peter. Peter works, businesses and everything. and then he decides to leave you. Then what happens? Whatever he has accrued, we divide that in half, right? Except his debts. So this one excludes debts. It's only what's
What a
accumulated.
bonus.
Right? Exactly. That's why
Anti-nuptial
it's green.
contract.
With accrual.
Keep your
It
debts.
is. Keep your debts. I have my own debts.
Ladies, I hope you're writing notes.
Because I don't know what you're doing with your credit card. You
Yeah.
may be in the club swiping on bottles.
Yeah.
I need to
That's
pay
your
for
business.
the debt.
That's your business.
Keep your debt.
Yeah.
So that's exactly where it comes in. It protects you. Your debt is your debt. My debt is my debt. However, if we accumulated wealth within this marriage, we divide that by half. I get mine, my share, you get your share, and it's fair.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it protects women, because in most cases, women are the ones that decide, let me take care of the home. They put the family first before their careers, right? That's what happens. It's the realities we face.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be at home raising these children, making sure everyone is happy. At least let me get something from it.
So which of these would you recommend, Alma, for someone who is a entrepreneurial businesswoman and her husband's the gamer? It's the other way around now.
Listen, I think the law needs to be equal for all parties, irregardless of who's making the more money.
Yeah.
When you start a marriage, it's basically about love first before money,
Yeah.
but we need to protect ourselves financially as
Yeah.
well. So I would recommend an anti-nuptial contract, definitely.
Okay.
But when it comes to whether you must get accrual or not, it depends on your individual estates, depends on what you individually do. So as the gamer husband and the entrepreneurial wife, I'd obviously speak for women and say, look,
Yeah.
I'd say go for the orange, which
Yeah.
is the anti-nuptial contract without accrual. However, I'd give advice to the gamer husband and tell him if she leaves you, the court now has ruled, we've had a recent court case, redistribution agreement. So you cannot leave with nothing anymore. You can still go to the court and say, look, I helped raise the children. I've invested in this home. The court is now giving orders to distribute equally what the other party has accrued in their marriage without an accrual. So you can go for an anti-nuptial contract without an accrual and still benefit from the benefits of your marriage.
Amazing.
So, yes. So you can do accrual, you can do not accrual. You need to consult a notary, sit down, have your finances evaluated, then see what's best for each partner.
And what's best for your client, obviously, depending on which one's your client.
What's best for my client?
So, ladies, what have you noticed has been the biggest financial mistake that women have made in marriages or long-term partnerships?
Shame. So they invest a lot in relationships.
Yeah.
I think we as women, we are lovers, man. We are lovers. We want to make sure that everyone is happy around us. We take care of our partners. So we tend to invest more in relationships, financially, physically, mentally. And then if something goes wrong, we are the ones that have to go back and start afresh.
Yeah. I think women don't think of the future, irregardless if it's divorce or death. We never settle for getting a will in place, having financial security. It's not about who's getting what at a divorce or death. It's about your financial security. We need to have financial education ourselves. We need to know our own finances. We need to invest more in knowing what the law provides for us. I think that's the most important, and not think cohabiting has any legal protection.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I wish this was something that they taught us in school.
Exactly.
And taxes
Can it
and
be a
everything.
subject?
100%.
Subject.
Yeah.
And Alma, what are some of the challenges that you've faced as a female attorney in a predominantly male-dominated industry?
I could write a book.
Yeah, please do.
Long walk to freedom.
Long walk to freedom. Female, young, black get underestimated a lot. So we've always had to work harder, prove ourselves more. We cannot walk into a negotiation table and be expected to produce the same results. We always have to work harder. We always have to think harder. We always have to have legal facts. We always have to have our story in check all the time. we get underestimated a lot by male attorneys. It's natural. I think it also comes from perspective. Clients also trust males better than they trust females. Not knowing it's just about our education and what we know, the law. So that's the challenges we have. Dineo has an example of a trial she had a few years ago. She was still a junior.
Yes.
And she was her opponent was an advocate. So she was a female junior and she had an advocate opponent. I think he overlooked you. You want to give us that story?
So what happened was, I think it was my first trial.
It was your first.
It was my first trial, motor vehicle collision. I will never forget that trial. So we get to court. We have to introduce ourselves. There was two male advocates. So they were against me. I was the plaintiff, acting for the plaintiff. And we had two defendants. They both got advocates to assist with this trial. Tall men. That's why I like wearing heels. Because I'm short.
You're short.
So when I go to court with my heels, I look a bit taller. And, So we got to court. We have to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
And the man was like, so are you doing this case yourself? I'm like, yes, I am. Okay, good luck. Thank
Gave
you.
her the good luck.
So the trial went on for 2 to 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. And then judgment was handed down on the third day. So it was granted in favor of my client. So they must both pay my client. After the judgment was handed down, so every day, those 2 to 3 days, after court, they'd say, bye, see you tomorrow. After the judgment was handed down in favor of my client, there was no bye or anything. They just looked at me and walked away from it. Oh,
And
bye.
you were like, good luck.
You were nothing.
So that was very interesting.
Yeah, that was a good trial.
That
was a
trial
good
actually
trial.
built my confidence.
Yeah.
From there on, I was like, no one can take me down.
Yeah.
I got this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And has there ever been a moment where you've like kind of put someone in their place and you've like, damn, that felt so good?
Oh, yes, definitely. We love it so
We do
much.
it a
And we
lot.
high five each other after that. It's an amazing feeling,
Yeah.
And you feel like I'm doing this for all the women out there.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do it. Let's do this.
That's
it's empowering.
incredible.
Oof.
Yeah. And so if you guys had an opportunity, what law would you change in the Constitution?
We actually spoke about this, the cohabitation. I think I'd want partnerships to be regulated, I mean, these days, not everyone wants to get married. We want to have companionship and live with our partners, but let there be protection around that, have a law regarding partnerships. Like now there's what do they call this? Stay-at-home girlfriend. There's a new term called stay-at-home girlfriend where
There should be laws for stay-at-home girlfriends.
protect their rights and protect them. Yes, it's not a marriage. We can't apply the Marriage Act laws. Yeah. But can we have protection around them? If they can prove that there was an intention for us to be lifelong partners, there's been shared expenses, let me be protected. Let me have a right to go to court and claim from his estate should he pass away.
Yeah.
From him should he decide, I don't want you anymore, I want someone else. So I would love that to be implemented in our law.
Yeah.
What about you, Alma?
Well, firstly, I think the Maintenance Act, it needs to be amended a lot. A lot needs to be done there. And the implementation of it is something that needs to be very strict.
Yeah.
Timelines, certain precautions. A lot of things need to be amended when it comes to maintenance. It's just not working, guys. I've been on the ground. It doesn't work. Women will sit in court for months on end to get 1,500 rand.
Wow.
It's not a pretty sight. Maintenance laws need to be amended. Also, domestic violence. You get a protection order, and the only way you can get someone arrested is if they commit the act that you have the order for. So you cannot say, he's at my house, no. Has he done anything to you? So it's an after effect that the law protects you for, not the pre. It doesn't protect you for before something happens. And most of the time, imminent violence, you see it coming.
Yeah.
There's just nothing that's solid enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you have that protection order,
It doesn't help
to enforce it,
much.
you have to call the police. How long are they going to take to come to your house and help you?
Yeah.
It's
Takes
a
forever.
struggle. It takes
It takes forever.
It's a struggle,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Also, from a lot of the conversations that I've had with attorneys, advocates, they've basically said, like, when you studying and you're watching all the movies, especially in the US, you're looking at this and you're like, wow, this looks like such a cool job. And like,
fun.
it's just so different. And then you come to your first South African courtroom and you're like, what is
Where
happening?
am I?
This is completely
It's
different
not
to
the
what it looks
same.
like in the movies.
It is not the same. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so different.
Yeah. So that must have been a huge adjustment as well for both of you, the first time you set foot in a courtroom.
Yes, but I also think we were lucky. In school, we used to have these court days where we go to court and observe.
Yeah.
I think we were lucky in that instance.
Okay.
Whereas people who don't have that opportunity, once they step into court for the first time, they see the mess that's going on. Sometimes it's disorganized. Sometimes you can't find the clock of the court.
Yeah.
It's so messy. Obviously, you just need to keep your composure and know what you're there to do and all
Yeah.
of that. Don't let that distract you. It can get distracting.
Yeah.
So when they come back and report to him, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Like, I'm sorry, that's how it is in South Africa. This is not Suits where you're just
Yeah.
going to win every
Yeah.
case. So.
Also, it's not dramatic like in Suits.
No, it's not dramatic.
There's no standing up and saying,
No way.
it's not like that.
No, it's
Even
not.
in weddings, you always think that that's what's
Oh
going to
my
happen
gosh,
and it never
yes. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't happen like that.
Unfortunately, we
That's
don't
so
have so
sad.
much
It's not
drama.
that dramatic.
No.
You'll stand
What
up.
and then do they say sustain?
They do, but it's really calm.
Yes.
It's not
Okay.
as dramatic as it is on TV. And during a trial, you have your opponent state an argument. You actually stand up softly.
Yeah.
Say, may I kindly object?
Yes.
And they sit down, then you put through your argument. But there's no drama of running into the courtroom.
How we
and-
arguing back and forth. But no.
We don't do that.
It's not like the Lincoln lawyer.
No,
vibe.
No, unfortunately.
We don't argue, scream at each other in court. That's never done.
Yeah.
Even if we have a legal argument, you'll wait for your opponent to finish, stand up, present your argument. The magistrate will give you time and give you a decision.
Awesome. So, like you said, in your varsity days, you at least were able to prep or in school before you came in. For someone that's really interested in going into law, what advice would you give them, being the devil's advocate, excuse the pun, to kind of tell them, these are the beautiful parts of it, but these are also the harsh realities of what it's like to become a lawyer in South Africa?
I would say first, be sure this is what you want to do. Be certain. And in the legal field, it's about passion. You can't say, I want to do it for money. I want to do it to be famous. I want to do it for these big trials. Have a passion to do it. Because when you have passion and there is no money, you'll still keep going. So have passion for it. What's amazing, what's the most exciting thing about law is the fact that you get to help someone. You know how nice it is when someone comes to you after going through all those legal troubles and do you help them? They come to you and say, you know what, thank you so much. I can sleep better now. It's a fulfilling feeling. It's
self-fulfillment.
It's
most
amazing.
importantly.
It's an amazing feeling. Your blood just rushes. You get excited to do more. You want to do more to help people because of the passion that drives you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, unfortunately, you won't win all the cases, but it's not because you are terrible at what you do. It's probably because they have better legalities that protect them. But have passion for it. Don't think about the money. If you're doing it for the money, then you're in the wrong field.
You're not going to make it.
You're not going to make it.
The money doesn't come first.
It doesn't.
Absolutely not.
You'll work for years before you see the money.
Passion.
So have passion, have confidence. You need to be confident in this field. Know what you're doing. Do your research. Read. Keep up to date with the recent case law. That will also help you with your confidence.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Resilience. Keep going. Despite one fall, dust yourself. Stand up and try again. If someone looks down on you, prove
Wear
them
heels.
wrong. Wear heels.
Wear heels. If they're looking
taller.
down, be taller.
And prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Show them
Yeah.
who you are and what you're capable of.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing advice. And you, Elma?
I think they must know what you want. If that's what you want, go for it. No one can tell you you cannot do it. Only you can do what you want to do. So if you want to study law, go for it. Get a mentor. Go practice. Go volunteer at a law firm. Just get someone who can guide you, but want to do it. No one can stop you. I studied when I was a secretary. I thought, maybe I'm not going to finish. Maybe I'm not. I finished in 4 years.
Amazing.
I had a bursary. I didn't have
That's
to think about
incredible.
the money. You have to want to do it to be able to do it.
And for the moments that you did lose cases, how did you deal with the loss, and what advice would you give someone to pick themselves up again in those moments?
I think it's a learning experience. Learn from the loss. Learn what didn't work out. It's not always about you not knowing the law. It's technicalities sometimes. It's something that you might not even have done. A simple technicality that could make you lose the case. So you learn from that. So you need to learn, build yourself your next case, the exact same scenario. You're not going to lose it because you know what happened. So learn from it, feel better about it, and keep it moving. Or get an appeal.
Yeah.
What you also said about having a mentor, have someone
Yeah.
to talk to about these things. I'm so blessed that I was able to get Elma, that we're in this together.
Yeah.
And we've been helping each other, growing together. So when something doesn't go right, we do talk to each other. We help each other. So have a friend. Have a friend. Don't be isolated. In this field, you need to build a community, because sometimes you may not be privy to some information or have access to some information, but your friend would have it. We share information. We know each other in this field. We refer clients to each other. It's an amazing space to be in. Just be confident, man.
Yeah, building a network as well. I think networking is a very good, especially now with AI and all of this going on. It's changing the legal field a bit, but build a network. Always have someone you can speak to. If it's someone you went to law school with, someone you went to primary or high school with, have a network of people. You cannot be an island. Absolutely not. You'll never succeed.
Absolutely. And I think it's also amazing to brainstorm with people because sometimes you're so consumed in a case that there's a way around or way
Exactly.
to,
Like this,
but you're just you got your sights set on a specific way that you just want the outcome to be. Okay, last parting question. Now that you brought it up, because that is actually something so interesting. Are you guys able to see when a contract has been drawn up by AI?
Yes. Easy. No, we know it.
We were talking about it the other day, that the language that AI uses and the language we use is totally different.
And sometimes it talks about laws that are not applicable
That
in
don't
South
exist.
Africa. They're only applicable in other countries, and it will apply that. And then you come to us confident with that contract.
There's a specific language we use in practice. That's why you need to do articles. You have to learn from another attorney. You can't learn it from a computer. You can't learn it from the books. You learn your practical from your books, but you need an attorney. There's a specific lingo we use that no AI can. I don't think so. At this moment, I don't think so. We can read, we can see that this is an AI contract. We can see one that's AI and integrated with an attorney, which is great. We can use AI in law, but you need to apply your mind. No case is the same. We have to apply
That's
our
so
legal
interesting.
mind. Yeah.
Ladies, thank you so much. This has been so insightful. I'm sure everyone has been writing notes and learning so much from you.
so.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to get hold of you, it's G&T Attorneys, and it's Dineo and Elma.
G&T, like gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
I see what you did there. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us and to everyone for listening at the bar. We've loved having you in the mix. Stay excellent and keep it sunny side up.
Old MacDonald had a farm-yo, and on that farm he had an egg.